We're doing worksheet number 9, map scales, question number 1. The scale of a map is 2 centimeter to 3 kilometer. Work out the scale of a map in the form 1:n. Now the form given 1:n means that both the units need to be the same, so that we don't have to mention the unit at all here, because here we're mentioning the units 2 centimeter ratio 3 kilometers or 2 centimeter ratio 2 kilometer. Change it to the unitless form. For that, both units need to be the same. So for convenience, I will change the kilometers to centimeters. So for that, multiply 3 with 100,000. So this becomes 2 ratio, this is centimeter as well. Now since the units are the same, we don't have to mention them anymore. And divide both sides with 2, so we get 1:15, and then 0, 0, 0, 0, 4 zeros. This is the answer, 1:150,000. Question number 2. Distance between Hamilton and Taronga is 90 kilometers. On a map, the distance represented by HT is 4.5 centimeter. The scale of the map is 1:n. Calculate the value of n. Again, we have ratio in the form 4.5 centimeters, ratio 90 kilometers. We have to change this into the form 1:n, which does not have any ratio mentioned, which does not have any unit mentioned, which means both the units are the same, and also one of the value at the left has to be 1. So we have to make 2 corrections. So first let's change 90 kilometers into centimeters. For that, we will simply multiply 90 with 100,000, so 100,000 centimeters. Now both are centimeters, so we won't mention the unit. Now the left side needs to be 1. For that, divide both sides with 4.5, and we get 1:2 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 6 zeros, so 2 million. So the value for n will be 2 million. Question number 3. There is a line missing from the worksheet, so just grab a scale and make a 7.5 centimeter line AC on the worksheet for part A. Alright, the scale drawing shows the positions of 2 towns A and C on a map. On the map, 1 centimeter represents 20 kilometer. Find the distance in kilometers from town A to C. So for that, simply grab a ruler and measure the length. Let's assume you were already given this length, this line AC in the worksheet. So what you'll do, you'll grab the ruler, you'll determine the length of the given line in centimeters. So that's 7.5 centimeters. It may vary a little. Okay, so I know that my length AC is 7.5 centimeters, and I also know that the scale of the map is 1 centimeter represents 20 kilometers. So 7.5 centimeters would represent how much? Cross multiply, so x will be 20 into 7.5, which gives us 150 centimeters. In the answers, the given range is 142 to 150, because the line, like I said, the length of the line may vary for different students, because it depends on the monitor settings. It depends on the size of the monitor you've printed this, you've made the document on, or you've printed the document from. So this length may vary for in many worksheets. So If the length is 7.5, the answer is 150, and some of you might find the length to be 7.1 or any value between 7.1 to 7.5. That's why the given answer is in the range 142 to 150. Part B. A lake on the map has an area of 0.15 centimeters. Work out the actual area of the lake. So let's do part B over here. The ratios we're given is 1 centimeters represents 20 kilometers. This is the ratio of the length. We are talking about area now. So change this ratio of length to ratio of area. For that, take square on both sides. So now 1 centimeter square is 400 kilometers square. So we've changed the ratios of length to ratios of area. Now the area on the map is 0.15 centimeters square. Find the actual area. So cross multiply, x will be 400 times 0.15, which gives 60, I believe. 400 into 0.15 is 60, yes. So 60 kilometers square is the actual area of the lake. Question number 4. The scale of a map is 1:500,000. The actual distance between two towns is 172 kilometers. Calculate the distance in centimeters between the towns. So we're given the actual distance in kilometers. We need the distance on the map in centimeters. This given scale has the same units. That's why the units are not mentioned. So this means that 1 centimeter on the map corresponds to 500,000 centimeters actual distance, right? So I need to change this ratio that has the same units into the ratio of connecting centimeters and kilometers. So for that, I may just change this into 1 centimeters ratio 5 kilometers, right? Because 500,000 centimeters is actually 5 kilometers because you divide it with 100,000. So I've transformed the scale. Actually, it's the same scale. I've written it in a different manner. So now 1 centimeter represents 5 kilometers, then x centimeters would represent 172 kilometers. Simply cross multiply and get your answer. So x will be 172 divided by 5. 172 divided by 5, which gives us 34.4 centimeters. Part A. Part B. The area of the lake on the map is 12 centimeters square. Calculate the actual area of the lake in kilometers square. Again, we'll use the converted map scale, this one, and this ratio is the ratio of lengths. Let's change this ratio into ratio of areas. For that, take squares on both sides. So 1 centimeter square ratio 25 kilometers square. And then calculate the actual area of the lake when the area on the map is 12 centimeters square. So write x here, cross multiply, x will be equals to 25 times 12. 25 times 12 is 300. Kilometers square. Question number 5. The scale on a map is 1:20,000. Calculate the actual distance between the 2 points that are 2.7 centimeter apart on the map. Give your answer in kilometers. Okay. So again, the given scale does not mention the units, which means the units are the same. So For part A, let's write 1 centimeter corresponds to 20,000 centimeters, because the units are the same. They can be in centimeters, they can be in meters, they can be in kilometers. It's a good practice to take centimeters on both sides. It does not matter though, whichever unit you take. So I'm starting with centimeters. Calculate the actual distance between the 2 points, which are 2.7 centimeters apart. Give your answers in kilometer. So I need to transform the scales. That gives me the conversion from centimeters to kilometers. So to change 20,000 centimeters is actually divided with 100,000 to change this into kilometers. So we get 0.2 kilometers. So the scale becomes 1 centimeter ratio 0.2 kilometers. Now we are given 2.5 centimeters and we have to find the length in kilometers, the actual length. So cross multiply x is equals to 0.2 times 2.7. 0.2 times 2.7 gives us 0.54 kilometers. Part B. A field has an area of 64,400 meters square. Calculate the area of the field on the map in centimeters square. Now we are discussing meter squares and centimeter squares. So we have to convert, we have to change this ratio from centimeters to meters instead. So let me rewrite this ratio. So this becomes 1 centimeters ratio. How do I change 0.2 kilometers to meters now? By multiplying it with 1000, so which will give me 200 meters. So again, all three ratios are the same, they're just represented in different way. 1 ratio 20,000, 1 centimeter ratio 0.2 kilometers, and 1 ratio 1 centimeters ratio 200 meters. They're the same ratios represented in different forms according to our requirement. Alright, so now for part B, we're talking about areas. So let's square both sides to change the ratio of lengths to ratio of area. So this becomes 40,000 meters square, and this was 64,400 meters square. Change this into centimeters square, cross multiply, and you write 64,400 divided by 40,000, which gives us 64,400 divided by 40,000, which gives us 1.61 centimeters square. Okay, question number 6. The scale of a map is 1 ratio 250000. Part A, the actual distance between the two cities is 80 kilometers. Calculate the distance on the map. Give your answer in centimeters. So for part A, again 1 ratio to 50,000 means that both the units are the same. Let's say both are in centimeters. So we need to change one of these to kilometers. So 1 centimeters ratio to 50,000 divided by 100,000 becomes 2.5 kilometers. So 1 centimeters ratio 2.5 kilometers. We have the ratio in a different form. Calculate the actual distance on the map. Give your answer in centimeters, and this distance is 80 kilometers. The actual distance between the two cities is 80. Cross multiply 80 divided by 2.5 will be equals to x. 80 over 2.5 gives us 32 centimeters. Part B. On the map, a large forest has an area of 6 centimeters square. calculate the actual area of the forest, give your answer in kilometers, square kilometers. So 1 centimeters represents 2.5 kilometers. Take squares on both sides. 1 square ratio 2.1 square is actually 1, 2.5 square will be 6.25 kilometers square. This is kilometers square over here, this is centimeters square over, and 1 square is simply 1. Alright, so on the map a large forest has an area of 6 centimeters square. Write 6 here and write x here, cross multiply 6.25 times 6, 37.5 kilometers square. Question number 7. On a map with a scale 1:25,000, the area of the lake is 33.6 square centimeters. Calculate the actual area of the lake, giving your answer in square kilometers. So the ratio given to us is 1:25,000. Since units are not mentioned, they are the same. So 1 centimeter ratio 25,000 centimeters. We need to convert from centimeters to kilometers. So we need a scale that changes centimeters to kilometers. So 1 centimeters corresponds to, divide 25,000 centimeters to kilometers. So we get 0.25. We divide it with 100,000. So to get centimeters to kilometers, so we get 0.25 kilometers. Now we're talking about area, so let's square both the sides. 1 centimeter square ratio, what is 0.25 square? 0.25 square is 0.0625, and then write 33.6 square centimeter here, and we need to find the corresponding kilometer square value. So simply multiply the answer with 33.6 and we get 2.1 kilometers square, which is the actual area. Question number 8. The scale of a map is 1 ratio, this huge number, 1 ratio 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 0, so 10 million. So units are not mentioned, which means they're the same for both these values. So 1 centimeters ratio 10 million centimeters. On the map, the area of Slovakia is 4.9 centimeters square. Give your answer in square. Calculate the actual area of Slovakia, give your answer in kilometers square. So we need to change this ratio into a centimeter to kilometers ratio. So 1 centimeter will correspond to, divide this with 100,000 to change this into kilometers. So we will be left with 100 kilometers. So 1 centimeters on the map corresponds to 10 kilometers of actual distance. So again we need the ratios of the area. So square both sides. 1 centimeter square ratio 10,000 kilometers square. Write 4.9 underneath 1 and write x underneath 100,000. So the answer will be 49000, and the unit is kilometers square. Question number 9. The scale on a map is 1 centimeters, corresponds to 20,000 centimeters. The area of the lake is 1.56 centimeters square. Calculate the actual area of the lake, give your answer in square meters. So we need a ratio that will give us a relationship between centimeters and meters. So let's change this into 1 centimeters ratio 20,000 centimeters. How do we change this into meters? By dividing this with 100. So we get 200 meters. So 1 centimeter corresponds to 200 meters. We need ratio of the area, so take square on both sides. 1 centimeter square corresponds to 40,000 meters square. 1.6 centimeter square will correspond to what value in meters square? So multiply 40,000 with 1.6 and we get 64,000, which is the answer. Meter square. Question number 10. A map is drawn to the scale 1:100,000,000, 1:million. Unit is not mentioned, that means both could be in centimeters. A forest on the map has an area of 4.6 centimeters. Calculate the actual area of the forest in kilometers square. So change this scale into a scale that gives us conversion from centimeters to kilometers. So for that, how do we change centimeters to kilometers? By dividing this with 100,000. So which means 1 centimeters actually corresponds to 10 kilometers. 1 centimeter on the map is 10 kilometers actual distance. Calculate the area. So for that, take square on both sides. 1 centimeter square ratio 100 kilometers square. 4.6 centimeters square on the map is how much actual area? How much of the actual area? 100 times 4.6, so the answer is 460 kilometers square. Question number 11. The scale on the map is 1 centimeter corresponds to 50,000 centimeters. The area on the field on the map is 1.2 square meters. Calculate the actual area of the field in square kilometers. So change this side into kilometers first, divide it with 100,000. So we get 1 centimeter corresponds to 0.5 kilometers. So now again we need to change this ratio of lengths to ratio of area. Take square on both sides. So 1 centimeter square corresponds to 0.5 square, which is 0.25 kilometers square. 1.2 centimeters square corresponds to how much in kilometers square? So 1.2 times 0.25 give us 0.3. So the answer is 0.3 kilometers square area, actual area. Question number 12. The scale of a map is 1:20,000. So 1 centimeters ratio 20,000, which means 1 centimeter on the map is actually 20,000 centimeters. Change this into centimeters and kilometers scale. So 1 centimeters would correspond to, divide this with 100,000 to get this value in kilometers. So when we divide this with 100,000, we will get 0.2 kilometers, which means 1 centimeter on the map corresponds to 0.2 kilometers of actual distance. Next we need the ratio of the areas. For that, square both sides. 1 centimeter square corresponds to 0.04 kilometers square. We've taken square on both sides. Next, this, write 60 centimeter square here, write x here, cross multiply, answer times 60 is 2.4 kilometers square is the answer for part 12. That's all for today. Allah Hafiz.